Hello, everybody. It's Holly from Besotted Orchids. Today, finally, believe it or not, we are going to deal with my nobly. Do you see all those roots? That is a keiki. We have several of them on here. So we are just going to save this poor plant. If you've seen in a previous video, I have knocked it down. One day I knocked it down 2 times. It's struggling. Plus, for some reason, I thought of all my orchids, that one could sit out on the porch this summer. That's not happening again. So we're going to try to save this poor, beautiful orchid. And this is another dendrobium type. Look at that. It is high time this one was potted on also. This is also a keiki, and it is Rene Bousset. I believe it's a really dark red. So before we start, I would like to give a few thank yous. A shout out to, am I going to say the name right? Stefan or Stefan. He is our 500th subscriber. So that's so cool. That's really cool. So we're celebrating today with, I don't know if you can see it, a London fog. Oh, I have fog in the brain today. It's too early. It's raining here in Ohio. We are celebrating with a London fog tea, which I never ever drink. I'm not honestly a big fan of the creamy type drinks. But a cold day here in Ohio with rain, we're going to have London fog this morning. So thank you, Stephen. Thank you to all my subscribers. I mean, he didn't do it on his own. Every one of you who have subscribed to my channel have got me to the 500th mark. He's just the one that pushed me right over the top. So that was really cool to see the other day. We are looking at bark. And since we're dealing with babies that were keikis that we're transplanting in, I'm going to add a little bit of sphagnum. Not much. And if you look at the bark, sometimes you see a big piece. You're obviously not going to put that in. Really, really nice bark. Now I'm going to tell you, I have an awful lot of orchids. So I do go over to Home Depot. I go to Lowe's. I buy a bag that's like, is it 4 cubic feet or something? It's pine bark. Or it says fir bark, which that is a pine. It is non-treated. You don't want treated. You don't want dyes. You don't want the stuff you're going to use in your flower bed. You want a nice untreated bark. And come on, is that not what we're paying a lot of money for in tiny little bags? Yes, it is. It is. And of course, sometimes you're going to have smaller bits in it, which that's fine for things like today when we're transplanting a finer root system that really hasn't had a chance to get off the ground yet. If you can see behind me, I'm going to be showing you some beautiful, beautiful blooms. I feel like I should move myself over a little bit more so you can see those as we chat. It's twinkle season. And I have a new orchid I cannot wait to show you. In fact, I've been good. I haven't even studied this orchid this morning. I looked at it and said, oh my gosh, it's open. So no, I'm just going to wait and we'll do it together. I have been very, very busy baking bread and doing bread classes, sourdough. I had one last night. That was my 7th. I have one final class tonight. Then I can rest easy for a little while. I really enjoy doing the classes. It's so fun to get up in front of people and just talk about something you enjoy doing. I really enjoy doing the orchid classes. I do a lot of those as well. But during the winter, those stop. I'm in Ohio. I'm not going to be taking my orchids out. I have to tell you something that happened last night on my way home from my class. Of course, we're coming in the dark because the U.S. thinks we have to have this wonderful thing called a time change. It needs to be eradicated. That was set up during the wartime to actually preserve our resources. We don't necessarily need to do that today. So anyhow, I'm coming home in the dark at 8 o'clock. Coming in a state route, so I'm not on a tiny little road. Slam on my brakes. I think there is a cow laying down in the road in front of me, which would not be unusual. I'm saying that wouldn't be unusual to see a cow laying in the road. So I slam on the brakes, turn my 4-ways on. There's another truck stops behind me. Thank goodness a young man stopped behind me because we were trying to get this couch moved off of with a couch. Get this really ornate kind of a Parisian style couch, hot pink, pushing dark red. So I thought dark brown cow. So anyhow, just as we're getting ready to pick this up, a massive Bubba style truck, you know, the great big ones that the country boys have to ride around in that's jacked up and they're going way too fast in the dark, comes just roaring towards us the other direction. You know, mind you, our flashes are on. We're out there waving our arms. We're highly visible to the man. There's a couch. He did not even stop. Me and that other guy, we ran for the field as fast as we could go because he was going to hit that couch and it was going to go flying. So nobody got hurt. We did manage to get the couch off of the road into some farmer's field. He probably got this morning wondering how the couch got in his field. So I did go on our local page and I did say, hey, if you're missing your couch, that's where it is. It's in a field out there. So next time, maybe use a tie strap. Tie that baby down. It wasn't even a hill. There's no reason that couch should have come off of that truck, even if you had maybe sped up a little bit. So I don't know how the couch got there, but in the middle of a state route. Not cool here in the dark. So anyhow, that's enough of that. That's how my adventure in the bread class ended last night. So we live in the country. I'm sure people who live in the city have all kinds of tales. You know, it's just not country people. You have your own style. If you live in the city, you would have all kinds of wild tales about things too. But I just thought, oh, I did not need to be struck by a great big truck coming in the road last night as he hits a couch. So anyhow, what I have here is this keiki. I'm going to show you. You literally, it is just hooked on basically by a little thread. You're not literally a thread. You know what I mean. You're just going to grab it you're going to grab at the base of the keiki, at the root there. Hold the keiki, not the roots. And you're just going to do a horizontal, counterclockwise twist and just twist back and forth. And look at that. Look at those nice big roots. I really could have potted this a little bit sooner. So this is a nobile, dendrobium nobile, ready to be potted on. I will set this down here. Oh my goodness, we do have more here. Probably not as rooted. Yeah, there is a long root. We'll go ahead and take these off. There's no reason at this point, if you're transplanting, to leave one that might be not quite as large. If you're going to the bother of transplanting, just do them all. We're going to twist this one off. So there's another one. And it's time. And this one here also has one really nice long root. So we are going to twist this one. Oh! I'm not sure what happened with that. It looks like, I'm not sure if this was, no, this is actually keiki too. First I thought this was part of the mother plant it was hooked to, but it's not. So what I'm going to do with these, because you saw them, they all came off the same plant. I'm just going to put them, I'm going to plant all of these together in my 4-inch pot. There is plenty of room in here for these. So I'm going to set those to the side. I'm going to come right over here and do the exact same thing with dendrobium Rene Bousset. Here it is. And these roots are not quite as long, but to be honest, when I am done taking this off, there are enough canes on here. I'm going to remove this cane. It's very long. It's very cumbersome. It's not fitting on my shelving unit as well. And the rest of these are nice, big, healthy canes. They are going to more than support the plant. So we are going to do the exact same process. Ooh, this one might be a little tighter. You can hear the little crinkles that's coming off. There we go. There we go. You see that? They're already trying to become aerial. They're going more upwards. So we are going to want them, try very delicately to put them down inside the pot with the bark. There it is. That's a nice, healthy keiki. So I'm put that off to the side. And while we're here, honestly, this is enough of fighting with this. I'm going to snip. I had a zip tie on it to hold this plant together. Do you see this is just, here's the main body of the plant. Then we have this. It's just rather cumbersome. These have been sterilized. I did just do them with my great big lighter that I use for candles. Let me see. I don't like candles. I have asthma. But you know what? Something you would light something with. And I am just going to snip it right there. And now, as you can see, now these I'm just going to leave. They're not, well, this one is very desiccated and dry. We're just going to go ahead and clean this up at the exact same time. There is no reason to leave that on there while we're cleaning up the plant. Sometimes you have to do this. Don't do it if you don't have a lot of other ones for you. Okay, these still feel good. This one here is a little desiccated as well. I'm just going to go ahead and remove it as well. Okay, now I'm going to train this to grow upward more instead of outward. And I think we have a very nicely cleaned up Rene Bousset dendrobium. So we shall see. I'm pretty excited to have that one cleaned up. I've been meaning to do this video for a while. Things just, life gets in the way. So anyhow, we have the nobly cleaned up. Now I am not going to cut this off, even though, as you can tell from all the blooming spots have pretty much been taken up on this, but it is a very nice, big, healthy cane. I'm not going to remove that, especially since I did break this one when I knocked it off. I broke it. So I'll probably just tie this up to this support right here. And we will really just watch and we will wait for this to do well. And we have a brand new growth down here as well, if you can see that. There's a brand new growth. Oh, we have a tag. Wow, we're doing well today. We have tags. Love Memory Fizz. This is white with a little bit of a purple center, and I do like it. It has a very, very nice scent. And the shadows are a little bit heavy today. We are having a rainy day today. So anyhow, you have seen now how to remove them. I'm trying to think how I'm going to do this. I'm just going to go ahead and drop the camera down to table level, and then we will film how to pot them into the pots. And as you all know, I have just not taken the time to learn all of this trickery with the cameras that everybody is doing so that they have their perfect shot at all time and they do all the editing. That's probably something for me to learn in the new year, how to do all of this editing. So we're down to a much better level. So here we go. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take this pot. I'm going to take this bark and I'm going to mix. You're just going to do this. Really just crumple it in. Crumple this in because you want a nice mixture. You're going to do 75% bark. I would do 75% bark where I live to 25% moss and just mix it into the mix. Then I literally, sorry, the camera angle is still not good, but I'm literally just going to put, you know, the great big piece of bark, I think I'm just going to place right down here at the bottom. Going to go about a third of the way up with some bark. And like I said, these three here that are off the same plant, maybe not this one. Maybe just these two here because they do have much more streamlined roots. Delicately because this is a very long root system. But if you go too large of a pot, what you end up doing is rotting the plants because you're putting too much water in. And we don't want that. This might be even a little larger than I would have needed. But as I was scavenging around through my pots, sometimes I just go on a bender and I throw stuff away. I think I probably cleaned out a lot of pots because I am switching over to terracotta. So these are in, and these are in at a nice level here. They're not deeply buried. So I'm just going to go ahead. I'm just going to tuck this all the way around my roots. Try to keep them centered in the pot. Oh my goodness. Well, why have I been putting this off? There we have. We have a new dendrobium, Love Memory Fizz, which I will have to put a tag on. So I hope it has better life than his mama did. I hope I'm not going to throw this out on the deck and knock it over when I finally do bring it back in the house. That was not the coolest thing ever. So here we have a brand new plant to add to the collection. I don't really need two of them. Oh my goodness. I'm going to have a sip of this. I made this beautiful drink. I worked so hard to make this drink. You have to froth milk. Come on, I'm a black coffee person. Put it in a pot. Have a nice cup of coffee. You're done. So let's give this a try. It's not bad. It's not bad. It has vanilla. I did take the time to go out and harvest some little lavender blossoms because, you know, on the Instagram, they put lavender blossoms on the top of theirs just for display. And it probably should be in a glass cup so that you can see the different levels of it. But, you know, I don't know. I would just honestly prefer a strong English breakfast tea or my black coffee. I think it's also, I have asthma. I don't want to have a lot of milky, mucusy. Nobody needs that if they have asthma. Stick to your black teas and your black drinks. So we are going to do the exact same thing now. And of course, my phone is telling me that I need to clean up my storage. Imagine that. Here we go. Here's a much larger one. And I'm really excited to have another one of these. I love my dendrobiums. I'm not a fan of the nobly dendrobiums just because winter rest, things like that. But you know, I've been watching Roger Frampton over in England where he talks about his noblies. And he says nowadays, on Roger's Orchids, nowadays they are hybridized to the point that maybe the winter rest is not so important. So here we go, the exact same mixture. We are just going to tuck this in its beautiful little pot. Tamp it down a little bit. Don't push, don't be rough with your things. If you have to, maybe just give it a little tap down. Now this one here, I can see that not too terribly long. I will transfer it over to the same size, but in a terracotta, I almost said terracotta pot. A terracotta pot, because it's heavier than this other one. It's more top heavy. So here we have two noblies, the dendrobium. So we have soft cane, hard cane. We have both varieties here that we have just successfully transferred over. And you know what? I will go back later. I forgot to do that and add a very few grains of a slow release fertilizer to these because they are still growing. And we'll see. Maybe we'll have some giveaways. Oh, I do want to tell you. Oh my goodness. I will deal with this one. You know what? We're going to go ahead and deal with this one in its own pot. I do have a smaller pot here. I think that will be just great. We're just going to put it in here. So once again, about a third of the way, maybe more like half because it's not so long of a root. I'm going to place this right gently. Oh, this root, see, this root's going to cause a problem. Okay, I tweaked it around just a little tiny bit. So here we go. I'm just going to put this in, try to find some little larger parts. I'm coming into some of the more dusty pieces. I've used all the good pieces in this batch right here that I brought in. I normally do all my potting work out in the garage. I just have a great big huge tote, like one of the big plastic totes, and I use the lid on that as my table. And then I just make a god-awful mess. I get everything potted really quickly, and then I sweep the garage. So here we have two noblies, which is Love Memory Fizz. We also have the Rene Bousset. So I'm pretty pleased with this. We have 3 done. Now this one here, oh my goodness, I'm going to have to work on this. I am really sorry that she's making more keikis. A mother's work is never done. I'm going to have to remove keikis from here again later. Good heavens. It's like when you do all the dishes and somebody wanders in with everything they've had in their room, all their coffee cups, all whatever. I have a 13-year-old son who drinks coffee. He's had coffee since he was a little baby. As soon as he could crawl to the coffee cup, he's had his coffee. So you know what? This one here being so, I'm going to snip this off. And you're going to have a hissy fit. Somebody else is going to have a hissy fit. Holly did not change her. Didn't sterilize between. These are my personal orchids. They're healthy. I'm not seeing signs of fusarium. I'm not seeing all kind of problems with them. It's a tiny little snip down here. I literally am just going to snip this off. Let's see if you can see this one right down here. It's It's awkward. It's just leaning over. We're just going to go ahead. Make sure I don't snip anything else around it. There. I think the plant is happier already. That is off. See, the curvature, that was not doing the plant any good. So what we have done is potted some on. I'm going to steal my stake back because you never know when you need a stake. These are going to go out to my compost pile. This, when I do with all my extra little bark that maybe is a little more dry and smaller pieces, that goes out in my flower bed. So nothing is wasted. And I think I'm going to shut this off. And then I will be filming a video when I set up of some of my beautiful blooms for you to see. We're coming up on Thanksgiving, and I'm so excited that I will be joined this holiday by a very special orchid. I've waited, oh my gosh, have I waited 1.5 years for this orchid to bloom? You will see that. I will post that. And tonight when my internet's not very, very fast out here. So tonight when I go in for my last bread talk, I'm going to set my videos to download on the library. It's very high-speed internet. So sometimes when you see delays, because I'm waiting till I get into the library to do that. And sometimes I go to the library and I'm like, oh, really? I forgot to post that video today while I was in here. So tonight when I'm doing my last bread talk, I will be uploading this video to you. So I hope you enjoy it. I hope you've learned a little bit. There's so many videos out there. I mean, it almost seems like it's redundant for me to put out another video on how to remove a keiki. I mean, you have Miss Orchid Girl. You have everybody out there doing the exact same videos. So sometimes I do like to showcase more just my collection, just how pretty the blooms are, and just enjoy what's blooming in the home instead of showing a care tutorial that everybody's already has out there. I don't know. Give me your thoughts on that. Do you want me to do more care tutorials, or just show you the pretty blooms? I mean, there's always something blooming here. And I will tell you, oh my goodness, this is area back here that I do keep all of my beautiful blooms in, and I normally keep all my spiking orchids out here too, just so I can keep an eye on them. You like to watch the process. No, I've way too many orchids in spike. It's a really bad problem to have. It's terrible. I bet I'd have to count them. I'm probably at least 25 orchids in spike right now. So lots of dendrobiums. You will see, I'll show you in the next video. I have a, oh my goodness, Roy Tukanaga. Spider lily type orchid. That one is getting some nice spikes on it. My Kingianum has several spikes again, and as you know, it just spiked several months ago for me. I'd like to get that one in line so that it knows to bloom everything at one time. But that's basically all Besotted Orchids has been doing. She's been baking bread, hiking, taking lots of hikes. Oh my goodness, Lily and I, we went on a hike with the expert hikers, so we were way down at this beautiful waterfall. And we pulled into the parking lot, or we came off from the hike back into the parking lot, and the parking lot was full of dogs. The most beautiful dogs you've ever seen. We stumbled into a group of people who go hiking with their dogs. So we're talking Great Danes. We're talking the most beautiful black German Shepherd from Czechoslovakia. Oh my goodness. That is a dog that you would not want to see coming at you. If you were breaking into somebody's home. You don't want to see that dog coming at you at night. But the owner said, because I said that to him, I said, that must be a wonderful guard dog for you. He goes, no, she would show you everywhere all the items are for you to steal. She was very peaceful, very beautiful dog. So, but the Great Dane, oh, it was black as well. It was just such a beautiful, solid color on that Great Dane. Little Dachshunds, 2 little wiener dogs. Oh my gosh. So we had fun. We got to tour around the waterfall, and we got to see all these beautiful dogs. I mean, they said they have a dog group, and sometimes they just go on big hikes together. And I think it's for this. It's for everybody who's hiking around to say, oh my gosh, look at all these beautiful dogs who have just showed up. And of course, Lilibet was there. And I'm partial. I'm sorry. She probably was the prettiest dog there. I'm partial to my beautiful little Lilibet. In fact, we've had so many horrible accidents on the highways lately. Just god awful things here in Ohio. And so I told the hikers, I said, listen, my husband's not a fan of Lilibet. You know, he thinks 3 dogs was just too many. So he's never really, not a fan of my Lilibet girl. So I said, she's a hiker. She wants to be in the woods 24/7. That dog would live in the woods. In fact, she's out in the rain right now. She refuses to come in. Even treats. Nothing would lure that little creature back in this house this morning. So I said, Kyle, he's the leader. He's a naturalist. I said, if anything were to happen to me, Lily really likes to hike. He goes, yes. I said, Kyle, I don't think I've even asked you yet. He went to my dog. He went to my beautiful, precious Lilibet. And you can hear her now, of course, now that her name was mentioned. She's been summoned. She's out on the deck. She's finally ready to come in from the rain. And she has hair that, not like my other dogs, it doesn't, she's not totally soaked. She will come in and covered with water that you can see all over her. And you just really just take a towel over her and she's dry again. So she loves cold weather. She loves rain. She's just absolutely ridiculous. So I know if anything horrible were to happen to me, my dog's going to continue hiking the hills and doing whatever. But I think it was way too quick of an answer. Yes, I would take your dog. She is the mascot. She is the unofficial mascot of the hiking group. She goes to almost every hike. She just, if you tell her, hit the woods, we're going to hit the woods, she is raring to go. She's like, she sees the leash and my boots come out. She's ready to go. She goes a couple times a week. So just enough about Lilibet. But yeah, I just thought that was hysterical. It was way, way too quick to say, yes, I'll take your dog. Maybe I have to watch my back when I'm hiking. Maybe I have to make sure I'm always behind Kyle. He wants my Lilibet. So she is precious. She's an absolutely precious dog. So on that rather wonderful note to think about, I'm going to let you go. And I will put another video up. So you might see another video at the same top because I'm tired today. I'm going to put another video up where I'm going to show you this really amazing, amazing new orchid that's blooming. We're going to do that. And, of course, show you some more blooms. So I hope you're all having a great day. I hope if you celebrate Thanksgiving or not, there's always something to be thankful for in your life. So, yeah, it's going to be a good week ahead. So please like, share, subscribe. And I do hope you've enjoyed my random little ramblings. I mean, from cows that turned into couches on the road to who gives my dog if I have a fiery crash somewhere. So anyhow, you guys have a great day. And above all, enjoy those orchids.